Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Chaos Child, and whew, shit's happening. We're still only in chapter 9 though, so anyway, we have a drink to sit here with this, grab a drink, pull up, take a sip. I will try not to drink like that. I got myself a raspberry beer because I can. So, in a glass, because we fancy. Just because there's like foil around the top of the bottle, it's like so just pain in the ass to get off, so you just pop the lid and just put it in a glass. But also because it's like drinking a Jolly Rancher, so drink it like wine. Normally the bottles are big, these are little, like individual ones, but anyway, not the point. Point is this, but grab a drink because we might need it. So, and the next moment. Is she a psychic too? Was she in the basement being experimented on as well? Huh. I feel like this is supposed to be more shocking than it is. But that's her secret. Because she keeps saying about her secret, and she knew that, like... Do you think her and Kawahara and What's-Her-Face and Senri all knew each other because they were all, like, in that facility being experimented on? You know what I mean? So... And that's why that maybe explains a little bit more, because when she was like, I'm going to be the sacrifice, the person who dies today for the new generation madness, and it's like, but like, Sarika's only killing psychics. That should have clued me, and I should have been like, wait! But... Is Kazuki a psychic too? Because then that would explain why all the routes are people that are psychics. But like... Kazuki does think she's being watched based on those delusions. She is a space princess. I mean, those were our delusions, but I feel like we should be like, oh my god, but it's like, okay, all right. I think they want Kurusu to be like, you know, I think what it is I'm normally be like, oh, but Kurusu's like my least favorite character. Again, there's nothing wrong with her. I understand everything that they've done and why with her, but it's kind of just like, yeah, but I just still don't like her that much. So, like, her being, like, super special, and then she's, like, her big sister, and she's gonna save the day and everything, and it's like, you know, meh. But that's just my personal opinion of her. So, but anyway. She brought them down, hard and straight, as if swinging a sword. So she has, like, weird fighty things and not a sword, but it's still a die sword. Sarika moved back just a little. Her movement might have looked like pure reflex, but Kurusu didn't miss it. Which meant... So I was right, huh? That was the answer to everything. So that was it, huh? I was waiting for her to have an evil grin on her face. Ooh, the angry eyes. Slight change, but enough to be kind of like... Sarika's face became blank and expressionless. She didn't frown or sigh at her own failure. Her manner became that of a beautiful doll. Sarika... She was right. She'd been ready for it, but she still couldn't help but cry. She tried to stop herself. She grit her teeth. But Sarika's gaze wasn't fixed on her anymore. She stood, legs apart, as if judging the distance between herself and the thing in the seemingly empty space between them. There was no question. She saw it. And now it was Sarika's turn to look her in the eyes. Her eyes were different than Kurusu had ever seen before. It was as if they saw everything. So she probably, like, swung her... It's more like a die claws, but, like, whatever, at her. Like, because if Sarika couldn't see it and wasn't psychic, then she wouldn't... But she moved just a little bit. And she's like, ha, you see this. Yeah, that's what she did. She was testing her. No, that's not right. Suddenly, Kurusu knew. It wasn't just a smile. Her eyes did see everything. That was telepathy. A terrible, twisted power which exposed all of your most treasured secrets. She heard the sound of herself clenching her jaw. And then she forgot the tears and turned herself over to the rage that was boiling within her. Yeah, her dye sword is more like a weird claw glove thing. That's kind of interesting. It had been 6 years since she'd real booted it, and it was almost sad how easily it came to her hand. The dye sword. A monstrous blade that only those with the power to make delusions real could wield. She refused to look away from the light that she'd never wanted to see again as she pointed the blade at her opponent. You were the one who was using Senri Mini Misawa, weren't you? I don't want to hear that from you, no Kurusu. Her voice made Kurusu shiver. This is where she gets like this. I'm still gonna... Ah, and a blade even more wicked than her voice appeared in Sarika's hands, opening like a blooming poisonous flower. It's actually really pretty. But it's so funny because, like, Arimura's looks like a butterfly. Hers is, like, this beautiful pink, like, fucking awesome Barbie kind of sword. And, like, Kurusu's is also, like... And then you have Yuki, this tiny little girl with this, like, monstrous demon sword. It's great. I love it. It was beautiful. For a moment, she was blinded by the beauty of the weapon. She forgot that it threatened to cut into her soft flesh. Well, I can't read. Okay. Sarika leapt off the ground. The distance between them was closed in an instant. I mean, there's a part of me that thinks this is kind of interesting. Oh my god, my hoodie. I'm so warm. That, like, it's interesting that, like, these girls are gonna, like, fight. They're kind of fighting over us in a way. It's kind of beautiful. Usually it's the menfolk fighting and we're, like, the gal... Okay. It's one of those things, like, when we play Atome games, it's like, the boys have to fight and save us because, oh, we're the weak woman. We can't save ourselves. Oh, you know. And this time, okay, we're a dude. We're gonna... No, the women have to fight to save us. Why do I always have to be a goddamn delicate flower? Like, even as a dude, I'm a delicate flower. Why can't I ever kick ass? Hold on, I gotta take my hoodie off, so give me 2 seconds. Alright, sorry. It was like warm, and it's like I could take it off and just leave it around my neck, but that would drive me crazy. So anyway, the distance between them was closed in an instant. I mean, I'm okay with this happening, but I just have a feeling that's gonna be like, what, Kurusu has to save our ass? Come on! Come on! I'm a dude for once. I can't be, like, manly. You always make in every game. It's like, girls can't fight. The boys have to do it for you. That's a man thing to do. And now it's like, no. Let the women folk fight, Takuru. Just sit down and shut up. But why? I just want to be able to kick some ass. I want to be the hero. I'm supposed to be the special, and everybody's special. Makes me not special if everyone's special. Kurusu lied to me her whole life. Alright. Kurusu brought down her own sword as hard as she could without even time to follow her movements. And as she screamed, I'm sorry. She could hear her voice. By the time she realized she was talking to Takuru, it was already too late. The light flashed in front of her as if driving the thought from her mind. Someone died, but who? Oh! Is it up? Did we show up? Why, Sarika? The same thought kept going through my head like I was an idiot. I couldn't think. Why? What was she doing in a murder scene? Damn it! Again, are we an... Okay, you know what? This is why the women folk have to do this. Are we an idiot? I mean, yes. But also, come on. We think we're so fucking smart. You had the proof. You had the 3 people it could have been. Did you really think it was you? Because you obviously had faith in Kurusu the whole time. Like, Kurusu was investigating behind my back, blah, blah, blah. So you weren't like, she's sus. So your options were, you or Sarika. And now you're like, Sarika, what? How did I not? Boy. You dumb, and this is why... Okay, never mind. This is why the women folk have to fight to save my ass. Because I'm clearly a moron. The saliva caught in my throat as I moaned in pain. It took a lot of effort to keep myself from falling over. Damn it! I don't have time to waste here. Huh? I stopped as I heard a sound. It was in front of a familiar place, but it wasn't the one I'd been coming to. I was on my way from Aoba dorm to Sarika's condo in... Daikanyama? Daikanyama, okay. What was that? We were running past the school. I saw something strange in the corner of my eye and looked up at the school building. The school at night was an impossible sight. And on top, I could see a feeble light like a fluorescent bulb that was about to burn out. We heard the clanging of swords and were like, wait! I started to run, dragging my feet forward as I went. I raced up the stairs of the building without even bothering to take off my shoes. The lights in the yard illuminated my face with a certain rhythm as I ran. But that light was something different. That strange, dull light. I was kind of wondering when she said, and then she did the thing, like, if we were going to all of a sudden just be there in the middle of this fight, like, right as she was like, oh, I'm going to die. Nope. Because that's what we need to do. Because, like, again, if we were Kurusu playing in the game and we were the main character, the man would have to come in and save us. So I'm just saying, can I, since I'm playing the man, can I go in and save someone? I want to be the, I would love to be a female character that could be the save all the damsel in distress boys. I mean, I'm just saying, that'd be great. You know? I'm the ruler of the man harem, but like, hello. But like, in this case, we are a guy, we're playing a dude, and you would think in a game that's probably more geared toward dudes. Look at all your hot chicks around you with their big boobs, and they're all kind of in love with you, yeah. You know, that we would be like, yeah, I'm awesome, I saved them, but they're saving us. I'm just saying, right? Can I just not play a game? I don't want to be the damsel in distress all the time. Because, like, in real life, I couldn't save myself for shit, you know? So, I'm just saying. That strange delight. It was the light of a die sword. Or two. I made it to the top of the stairs and slammed straight into the door. I yanked it open, trying my best not to think about what I'd find beyond. Well, it's going to be a sight you ain't going to expect. Ooh, pink. Ooh, what? The first thing I saw wasn't the light of the die sword, but the red. Who's dead? My heart beat loudly once, and then all was silence. Now, this would be a brilliant way for it to stop and be like, dun, dun, dun. Okay, now you gotta go through the whole game and play all the other routes before you find the ending. What? But we're still only in Chapter 9, so I don't understand this. I didn't feel anything at all. It was as if I'd totally frozen at what I'd seen. Okay, so we didn't get to jump in. Oh no. She was lying on the ground in front of me. Her clothes were red. Someone was in front of her looking over their shoulder at me. No, not someone. I knew her. But she looked different than I'd ever seen before. And the deadly weapon in her hands made me shiver. And that weapon was deeply... A strong wind blew toward the open door. It was as if someone was trying to push me back in. As if they were trying to get me away from the threat in front of me. She'll kill you too. Run away. Now. Was the voice I heard an illusion? Or was it the person I cared about? Aww. Oh. Sarika's supposed to be our best friend! Suddenly, all sound disappeared. My head hurt like hell. I ignored it. All the doubts I'd had, all the feelings that had told me it was a lie, I left them all behind me. Behind? It was only when I saw that the distance between us was closing rapidly that I realized I had started running. A meaningless scream poured from my throat. I could tell from the way my throat was vibrating, but I couldn't hear the sound at all. I kept running, but everything seemed to be passing by in slow motion. Intense. I felt a pulsing in my brain. My hand reached out for nothing at all. Until now, I'd never been able to touch it. But now I could grab it easily. I'm like, but until now, I couldn't touch it. I mean, it's the die sword, but like, phrasing game. What was I touching? What was I holding? Some fragment of useless rationality was still within me, asking me these stupid questions. I was holding the thing that was going to slice her apart. My own delusions, made manifest by real booting. A twisted blade that weighed nothing at all. When I swung the die sword, it was more than close enough to hit her. Oh, she yelled something, but we can't hear. She'd already turned around and raised her die sword up from below. Why did she have a sword, too? I didn't know. I mean, yes you do, stupid! But before I could think about it, I brought down my weapon with all my strength. It'd be amazing if we actually, just totally killed her right off the bat right here. Serica blocked it without making a sound. No, that wasn't right. My dice sword stopped before she could block it. Right before it would hit her. What's wrong? I heard a voice I'd never heard before. Saw a look I'd never even seen before. Ugh. I couldn't move. She hadn't done anything to me. There was no mind control. I was the one in control. But my hands had stopped as if they'd struck an invisible wall. Why? Why? You're not gonna come? Why couldn't I move? Why wouldn't my arms, my legs? My feelings caught up to me. My reason came back. And my heart finally started to scream. I'm kind of curious about what Carduce's power was, but this can't be happening. It can't. Why would Serica do this? It can't be real. Gah! The pounding headache I'd forgotten came back, and I fell to my knees. Ugh. My head felt like it was going to split. I grabbed it with both hands. At some point, my die sword had disappeared. The will that I tried to strike Serica with was already gone. I dug my nails in and closed my eyes. I could feel the veins in my forehead with my hands. I felt something sticky on my knees, and I smelled a mild perfume. It was the same as before, when my little sister had been killed and ripped apart. Again. This is happening again? It was the blood of someone who was every bit as important to me as my little sister. No, Carduce. Who had done this? Who had come at her with a blade and cold eyes? No. I'm telling you, it can't be Onoe. I tried to use my rage to drive it all away, but I couldn't. This is where you need to man the fuck up, sweetie. Carduce? I heard a wordless voice. I forced my eyes to open. Huh? Serica was already gone. I looked around with blurry eyes, but there was no light from the die sword and no sign of her at all. I crawled over to Carduce. Carduce! Oh, she was crying. Big tears fell silently from her unlit eyes. Her chest was stained red, and each time she breathed, more blood came out. Carduce! I pushed my hands up against her wounds. It was the first time in my life I had touched a girl's chest. That's what you're... Oh, God. It was so soft, but the dark, sticky liquid kept pouring out and staining my hands red. Somebody! I don't know what to do at a time like this. How can I save her? She was going to suffocate. As she started to cough, I put my hand behind her head and quickly turned it to the side. Blood poured forth from her mouth and fell onto the ground. Haku... Don't talk. It's okay. It's okay. I tried my best to hold the wound closed. Okay? How was this okay? She was bleeding so much. She was in so much pain. Takeru. I told you not to talk. Carduce's face twisted and she started to cry again. And... Huh? She suddenly grabbed the hand that was on her chest, and her grip was so weak. In that moment, I felt an indescribable chill in my heart. Come on, grab tighter. Be stronger. It's like you're gonna die. Her breathing was getting so shallow that she couldn't speak. But she tried to grab my hand and bring it next to her head. No, I need to keep the wound closed. But it looked like she shook her head just a little. And then she slowly brought my hand to her face and put it to her lips. Is she saying something? Because it's like the red from my fingers clung to her purple lips and shone like beautiful gloss. No. The sensation on my fingers was soft, but terribly cold. And then I knew. Yeah, she was going to die after all. No, it can't happen. It can't. I'm sorry. Her hand moved away from mine. So there's going to be a point like it where it splits and things do change because like we have a path with her, so she can't die. It's not going to be the same. So things are going to be different. So I'm curious. Okay, well, anyway, her hand moved away from mine. I don't know if I read that. And fell to the ground. No. The name fell from my lips. It was the first time I'd said it in half a year. Come on. No. It was the name of my big sister who'd always protected me. Wake up, No. I lifted her head up and held her tightly in my arms. She didn't move at all. Why? How can this be happening? Come on, No. I called her name again and again, knowing that from now on she would never answer me. Okay, like she wasn't my favorite character, but I still didn't want her to die, you know? At some point, midnight had passed, and it was November 4th. The last of the Return of the New Generation Madness murders had occurred right before my eyes. We've just received an extremely unusual announcement from the police. It's a warrant for the arrest of a minor issued under their real name. The announcement says that as of 12:30 a.m. today, November 4th, the police have issued a warrant for the person of interest in the series of murders that occurred in Shibuya Ward, Tokyo. This is a national arrest warrant for... What? Me? What? For Takuro Miyashiro, a third-year student at Hekio Academy. I repeat. Okay. Huh? All right, well, that's interesting, because... Excuse me? Did she mind control them? I mean, she could have, because there's no other way... What? I lost my balance and fell over. I could have used my hands to break my fall, so a sharp pain raced through my shoulder instead. Oh, I couldn't use, sorry. Some ashes got in my mouth, too. So this is flashback. I tried to get up, but the weight and warmth on my back wouldn't let me. Sarah hadn't woken up for a while. She was breathing. I could feel the beating of her heart. She was fine. I could taste blood as well as ash. I must have cut my lip when I fell. Damn it. I mean, we're just kids at this point, but I somehow managed to stand up without dropping Sarika, cursing as I did so. I couldn't just stay lying on the ground here. My goal, AH Tokyo General Hospital in Yoyogi, was a long ways away. It was fine. I would get there no matter what. Neither Sarika nor I were going to die here. Hey, this way! Come on! Huh? I saw people crowded around what probably used to be a store. I heard what sounded like someone calling for help, and someone else was saying they brought water from a broken vending machine. It was evidently being used as a temporary shelter. Should I stop? I was thirsty. I wanted water. No, I couldn't. That wasn't my priority. I knew that. I had lots of scrapes and small cuts, but none of my wounds were fatal. In an emergency like this, the most important thing wasn't water or food. It was finding a safe place. I'm just thinking we should have let Sarika die at this point. Maybe. Go back in time and fix this. I learned that on the internet one time. And since I didn't know what was wrong with Sarika, she needed a specialist to look at her. There was no telling what might happen here in Shibuya. It was better to head to AH General in Yoyogi. That's right. I'm a right-sider. And that makes me better than wrong-siders who were staying here. We're like 10 or 11 here. Like, Jesus. I ignored them and passed by. I licked the back of my cuspid so that my body would make more saliva and I'd feel less thirsty. That was another trick I learned. I wasn't ignorant like the rest of these people. Is this okay? Okay, press down here. Something seemed strange. I suddenly realized that I knew some of the voices from the shelter. Oh. I looked and saw that they belonged to my classmates. I almost never went to school, but I vaguely recognized a few members of the group. There was an adult woman lying on the ground in between them. There was blood coming from her stomach and her head. My heart skipped a beat. I just barely managed to stop myself from falling over. Why? My classmates seemed to be trying to save her. They were each taking turns holding down on her injuries, not caring that their hands would be covered with blood. Why? Why are you doing that? All you ever do is talk about stupid crap and you never listen to me. Why aren't you panicking? You guys don't know anything, right? About priorities or cuspids. Why aren't you screaming? Why aren't you running? Why are you so calm? You never did anything useful with your time. You can't even use the internet. All of your information is low quality. Miyashiro, is that you, Miyashiro? One of them saw me and ran over. Then he started to ask if I had water, if I was all right, if I could help. Each new question came before I had a chance to answer the last one. I'd seen his face, but I didn't know his name. So how did he know my name? How could he remember it at a time like this? Why? The word got stuck in my throat and I couldn't get it out. I didn't even know what I was trying to ask. Of course! Did you want to just let her die? I didn't know how he'd interpreted my response, but he suddenly started yelling. And then he grabbed my arm and told me to come with him. Wait! The woman's hurt. I have to save her. No, I have to get to AH General Hospital. Saw lots of injured people on the way here. That's right. This place was dangerous. My top priority was finding someplace safe. That was what my information told me. No matter how hard he pulled, I didn't move. Nothing moved, actually. Felt like I was outside my body watching him pull it. Why wasn't I moving? Was I scared? Of course I was scared. If she was hurt, I should help her. Like my classmates were. Wait, I wasn't like them, right? I was a right-sider. No, they were doing the right thing. I should help them. I couldn't move. What should I do? Forget it. You're a useless piece of shit. Get lost. He spat out the words as he let go of my arm. He ran back to his friends and they all started to take turns pressing down on her injuries again. He whispered something to them and they all looked at me for a moment. There was disgust in their eyes. Their eyes said more than words ever could. I hope I never end up like him, they said. Did we end up in a coma because we managed to get there, but Sarika was mind controlling us maybe? Maybe she wasn't real. Maybe Sarika has never been real. The next thing I knew, I was running. Not because I had to get to the hospital. Because I wanted to get away. I don't remember where I ran. See, we're carrying Sarika, and then they're trying to pull us over to help, but they don't see the unconscious girl with us. Instead of, you know what I mean? And then they're calling me an asshole, oh, he won't help us. Do you see the unconscious person? You're trying to help someone, I'm trying to help someone. So that makes me wonder, was Sarika really there? Or were we just imagining carrying her? You know what I mean? Because, okay, so you're the boy, right? You're trying to help this woman. And then you see someone, oh my god, come over and help me, blah, blah, blah. And then, what an asshole, he won't fucking help. Would you say that to somebody who is carrying an unconscious person? You wouldn't be like, oh, hey, help this person. You have an unconscious, you got a problem on your own. We got a problem, okay. Do you have water? Do you have anything? Okay, you got somebody, okay. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be pissed off about somebody who is carrying another person. But if Sarika wasn't really there, and that was all in our imagination, you know what I mean? It just, I don't know, that seems very suspicious to me. Or these kids are real dickheads, but I don't remember where I ran. Each time someone lying on the ground begged me for help, I ran faster and in a different direction. I closed my eyes so I couldn't see anything, then tripped. I held my ears so I couldn't hear anything. And see, where's Sarika? Said he was carrying her, right? My body was shaking. I felt coldness pressing in from all around me like I'd never felt before. Why was I running? I was the right-sider. While they were learning about useless nonsense at school, I was becoming smarter than them. I should be the one looking down on them. We're kind of an asshole. That's right. That's right. I knew lots of things they didn't. I should go back and tell them what to do. Were they treating her injuries right? Were they doing in the right order? I can make the right decisions. Takeru? I was very surprised when I saw who'd just spoken to me. It was my mom and dad. What are you doing here? Only then did I realize where I was. It was the shelter outside AH Tokyo General Hospital. I'd made it. It doesn't matter. Let's go. This hospital's no good. Dad motioned to Mom and I to keep moving. Why? Someone just said this place was safe. They're overloaded. And anyway, we need to get further away. There's no telling when the aftershocks will hit. It looks like there really isn't much damage to the north. The company's building is close. Let's use the car there. What? I didn't hear anything about that. Takuru, what are you doing? Hurry! When she grabbed my arm, the sensation from earlier came back, and I shook her off. It's funny, because they're like, oh, what are you doing here? Were you not worried about where your child was this whole time? And be like, oh my god, there you are. You're like, oh, you. I mean, seriously? What are you doing here? Like his mom's like, Chikuru? What are you doing here? Like, hey, what are you doing out wandering around in the middle of the night? They're like, they gave no fucks about their child. Like, literally none. Instead of being like, Chikuru, oh my god, where have you been? Like, they're not freaking out at all about the fact that, like, there was an earthquake and their child has been running around the city by himself, and then they see him and like, oh, thank God you're here. Oh my God, what are you doing here? Oh my God, I'm so glad. They're just like, what are you doing here? Like, the fuck, yo? Why'd you come into the bar? I told you stay home. Like, oh my God. Takuru, what are you doing? Don't start causing problems again. You're saved. You didn't seem to give a fuck about it. Saved? I'm saved? Just come with me. Mom screamed and pulled me along behind her as she followed Dad. I went too, my legs moving as if they weren't my own. And again, where's Serica in all this? I'm just saying. This is what really happened. Serica wasn't there. Saved? From the hell I'd just seen? I was saved? By people who had never cared about me before? No. There was a sharp pain in my head. I shook off her arm. My mom was screaming, but I didn't know what she said. I couldn't hear her. I'm wondering if Serica was never real! Okay. Fuck. Well, I'm just saying. Like, they're like, oh, Serica can control minds. That's her power, mind control. Okay. So she could have been controlling her mind for us to make us think that she was there at the hospital, like, with us when we saw. Okay. And then she was there with us, that we took her and saved her at the hospital. But she's not here with us now. And those other kids acted like she wasn't. They're like, no one's acting like we're carrying this girl. You know what I mean? We remember carrying her. We had that flashback. In the very beginning of this, we're like, oh, Serica's unconscious. I'm carrying her. And then now we're not somehow. So my brain is like, is she just mind controlling us to make us think she was there? Or are we really going to be like, Serica never existed. We created her somehow. And we have like a weird power where like, oh, people are like Serica talking to Serica like she's a real person and she's just some kind of weird. I mean, wait a minute. That's possible. Because we can create delusions, right? We can make people see things. As long as there's someone else there to see it, right? They can see it. So, like, we're standing there, we're like, yeah, Serica and I went, and they're like, oh, hey, Serica, what's up? They think she's real because. But the weird thing is, that would be fucking amazing. Okay. I would absolutely 100% applause. That would explain, like, applause the game for being like, but Serica did it. Like, why do we care about the rest? And then it's like, no, she's never real. It was all us the whole time. Oh my God. Please? Game. Yes. That's that. That would be amazing. That's never the way it works out, though. Somebody should pay me to write game because they'd be like, so this is oh my God, here's what's going to happen. It's going to be us. But then you would have to trust that every single, they'd be like, so guys, I helped write a game. So we're the killer? Yes. If you've watched any other things on my channel, I'm not going to spoil anything. You know what other game I'm talking about where I was like, I want it to be, and I was just disappointed with the whole thing. For like days afterward, I was like, no, I don't. My idea was better. Although it doesn't really explain Because, like, we could make other people, and, like, we have memories of talking to Serica alone, which, okay, that's just all delusions in our head, right? But other people, and, like, every time other people see Serica, it's because we imagined her. But then, like, Kurusu is like, oh, we went and we did all these things, and she has memories of Serica. Unless we really are the one with mind control powers and we don't know it. You know what I mean? Maybe we have mind control powers and we're like, oh, my power is telekinesis. I can unlock doors, but maybe you only think I can unlock doors because I made you believe that because I've got mind control powers and we don't know it. Because otherwise, there's really no way to explain how, like, Kurdusu's like, Serica and I used to go shopping and we do things. Was I with you when you did that? No, because then it couldn't be a shared delusion. You know what I mean? But, like, if we have mind control powers and then people are like, I hung out with Serica, I remember doing all of this, but Kurdusu was actually just going shopping on her own, but she remembers Serica being there, just like, that would be fucking amazing. And I've just put a giant check mark next to that's the best fucking thing that could happen in this game. You know, yes. Because that would explain why we got a bunch more fucking shit in the game to go. And then they're like, oh, by the way, we told you that Serica did it, but it was you actually, because she's never been real. Take a sip for that, genius. I'm sure that's not the way it's going to go. It's probably going to be like, no, Serica just mind controlled you and made you think she was there and all this shit, and she never was, because she's not here right now is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? She's not here. Those kids didn't see her. Nobody sees her. So she either made up, mind controlled us to think that we were carrying her the whole time. Because I swear to God, in the very beginning of this, right? Like, can I go back that far? Like, the young boy, the woman's hurt. This is all this stuff, right? So, like, Serica hadn't woken up for a while, and then they see this. The weight and warmth on my back. She was breathing. I could feel the beating of her heart. She was fine. Like, all of this. I managed to stand up without dropping her, blah, blah, blah. And then the boys start talking to us and our parents, and everybody's acting like Serica's not there. But in the very beginning, we were like, Serica, 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 I can feel her. She's breathing. She's there. She's alive. She ain't dead. And then nobody sees her, and you're like, you keep saying that you felt, but are you sure? I'm just saying. Just, I highly doubt that this is like a plot hole that the game was like, you forgot about Serica? Oh, fuck! No one will notice. I have a feeling nobody sees her because she ain't really there. Whether she mind controls us to make us think that we were carrying her the whole time and we're actually, like, mixing in the fake memories with the real ones right now, or she was or she's never been real. I don't know, but I'm just saying. I don't think we actually ever carried her there. And I think this is proof of that, so. Or, trying to show us that. So, anyway. My mom was screaming, but I didn't know what she said. I couldn't hear her. My head hurt and I didn't know why. My vision started to blur and I could feel my body starting to go numb. My nails were digging into my head, but I couldn't feel them. I tried to think through the pain. Saved? Me? Why? These people had always neglected me. Now they were going to save me? Why? And the constant pain in our head makes me think that, like, it could just be like, oh, it's your powers trying to come out, whatever. But I'm like, but are our powers just telekinesis? All I'm saying. And, like, Serica has a die sword, but we've shown it would make sense if, I mean, there's a lot of things you're like, well, Serica has a die sword, so why would we, but we could imagine that. We've shown through all the delusions we've done, positive, negative, that we are all of a sudden, oh yeah, that wouldn't happen. Wow. Woo, those two making out. Weird. Okay. Woo. We have these Scrubs level fantasies, so what's to say that we haven't just been having them the whole time and just didn't realize that Serica's just been a delusion. Fucking amazing. Again, I really hope that's the way it goes. I'm fighting for that one. That's my hope and dream right there. I probably won't be, but you two just happened to find me here, which means you were going to leave me, right? Exactly! That's what I said. You ignored me for so long and now you're going to save me? And I'm supposed to accept that? Yeah, you didn't even give a fuck that I was here. You weren't even like, oh, thank God. You didn't even pretend. Even if you were like, huh, cool, I think our kid might have died. Awesome. And then your kid shows up. Oh, Timmy, thank God you're saved. Fuck. Like, parents couldn't even pretend. Ugh. Pain shot through my temples like I was being stabbed with something sharp. No, no. That wasn't what you were supposed to say. This isn't what's supposed to happen to me. This isn't the information I'm supposed to get. All the wrong-siders in the class were doing the right thing and looking down on me? I'm a right-sider. I'm the person who's supposed to know what to do when everything goes wrong. I'm not like those preening jackasses online. I actually went on a dangerous adventure, and they looked at me like I was less valuable than some random meme and joke site? And now you people are gonna save me? You, the people who just gave me 1,000 yen instead of taking me out to dinner on my birthday? Hell no! I'm not the kind of person who just gets saved by parents who don't even want him. Shut up! You're the ones who are in the way. What can I do? What do I want to do? Why am I here? Oh my god, did we stab our parents? They said the parents got stabbed in a mugging. Were we the ones that killed them? Oh my god. Ah, I thought of my childhood friend. That's right. Where's Sarika? Yeah, right. Where's Sarika? Good question. She was our imaginary childhood friend because we had no friends. Oh my fucking god. I'm sorry. If she doesn't turn out to be a figment of our motherfucking imagination, I'm calling shenanigans because this is such a good setup for this. I'd come here to save Sarika. I couldn't feel her on my back through the pain in my head. That's right. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm saving someone's life. Sarika will understand that. She always tells me I'm right. She always understands what I have to do. Yeah. She's so not real. Oh my god. If she's real, I'm going to be so mad at this game because this is so great. The pain went beyond my capacity to endure it. My whole field of vision went white. Shut up. You people should just die. I mean, okay, go away forever. We like this makes me think that we might be the one with mind control powers because we're thinking all these angry things and then our parents die. And maybe our parent, that is us making someone else stab. Because they would have said he stabbed his own parents. People witnessed it. But if it was just a random mugging or something, we controlled that person to do it. Because quote unquote Sarika, who I don't think is even real right now, even if she was here, she's unconscious. So she can't do it. She doesn't know what we're thinking. You know what I mean? She knows what we're thinking if we're imaginary. Or if she's controlling our mind, I guess. I think she's a figment of our imagination. I want that to be the case so bad. Oh no, wait. Sarika, save me. Please. Please. Oh no, wait. Please. Give me. Sarika is the one that's been doing our evil bidding the whole time, but why are we killing people we love? Sarika Onoe. Chapter 10. We're finally in Chapter 10! We have no updates on the person of interest in the case, Takuro Miyashiro. The police have said that their reason for issuing a warrant that reveals a minor's name was the grave importance of this case. I woke up with a dull ache in my head and an unpleasant sound in my ears. I must have been sweating. My clothes were wet and sticky. Where am I? Oh. I'd never seen this ceiling or smelled these smells before, but then I remembered. This was Frisia, Momose's company. I didn't feel like I'd slept at all. I put my hand on the cushions of the sofa I'd been lying on and slowly sat up. After what happened, When the last moments of the dreams came flashing back to me, I looked at my hands. I could still feel the sensation of her motionless, but still warm and living body. My hands were shaking, but they were the color of human skin. Back then, they'd been stained dark red. Stained with Nono's... Why? Why? Are you okay? Oh. Arimura was sitting on the sofa across from me. She winced when she looked at me. Sorry, of course you're not. More importantly, why am I here if the cops are going to arrest me? I'm confused. They issued a warrant? I'll go make some coffee or something. She stood up. I didn't want any. I didn't feel like eating or drinking anything. But I couldn't even muster up the energy to refuse. That's how exhausted I was. So many fucking... Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. If Serica's a figment of our imagination, please don't tell me that. Please make me go through the rest of the routes in the game to figure out that Serica's a figment of my imagination. That'll be amazing. But also, this now... Okay, I know what I said earlier in this part, but if... Or in the last part, actually. I think it was. Where it's like, but if you tell me that Serica's the killer, then what the fuck is the point of the rest of the game? Okay, never mind. You know what? I knew. I said, I'm like, I'm gonna feel kind of cheated, but like, hopefully it'll, like, there'll still be a lot of questions and it won't feel that way. Nope, okay. Props game, because I was really doubting that after Serica's revealed to be the killer, it's gonna, what's the point? I don't really care what her motivation is. I mean, sure, you want to play it, but like, how are you going to keep the momentum going instead of it being like, yeah, okay, but like, we already know it's her and like 10 hours worth of just No. Good job, because now I think the real mystery is she fucking real or not? And I'm going to go with she ain't real, so that when it reveals like, no, she totally was the whole time and was mind controlling us, is going to be a disappointment. But, because my idea is better, but at least we got something to go with. Like, oh my god, wait. So there's still a lot. It's not just her motivation and like whatever behind it that's going to keep this going. Like, they did keep the momentum going. Now we're the suspect. Wait, what? Huh? But maybe, truthfully, might be us, because I don't think Serica's real. I think we did it. I think we did. We created her to kill people. Oh shit. Oh my god. Wait, what? I don't know. That's a lot of fucking questions. But anyway, so yeah, nope. I take back what I said about, like, don't tell me that Serica's the killer now, because that's gonna ruin. No. So many more questions that they opened so many more motherfucking boxes of crazy. I don't even know what's happening anymore, and I like it. Okay, goddamn, this game is fucking good, and like it subverts your expectations, especially again with revealing the killer so early. When you got a bunch of other stuff, you're like, but no, okay, no, yeah, I did not have faith in you, game. I did not have faith that you could keep the momentum going, and yet here we are. Holy crap. The government's Human Rights Department, the Lawyers Federation, as well as all major nonprofits have given their tacit assessment to the use of the boy's real name. Public opinion by and large agrees with them. It's just like what happened 6 years ago. You mean with Takumi Nishijo? Yeah, they said he was the main suspect behind the New Generation madness, but he proved them wrong and became famous. Kunasato and Mose were talking in front of the TV. Well, now that just ruins that game. If we could even find to play it. But I'm pretty sure it's only on like PS2 or PS3, which is just stupid that they never ported it. Although I didn't actually look if you could maybe possibly somehow get it to play, or if it was a computer version, like a PC version, but it's too late now. Now we know. Well, now we know the end to that one. Well, it's not that poor person. So anyway. The people on TV were still saying I was the one who was behind the killings. It didn't seem real. When they said my name, it felt like they were referring to some other Takuro Miyashiro who lived somewhere else in the world. Momose looked over at me. Good morning. I tried to say something back, but the words got caught in my throat. She looks angry. It felt like if I said something, all the feelings bottled up inside me would come pouring out at once. Shinjo got in touch with me. He said the news is calling you a person of interest, but for some reason the police have decided you're the mastermind behind these crimes. We might be! I'm kind of hoping, Momose. Including the death of Nono Kurusu. He managed to get me Nono Kurusu's top-secret autopsy report, and it looks very bad for you. It's probably all faked. They haven't even gone through the right legal channels. Autopsy report. I couldn't process the phrase. I'd heard it, but it didn't make sense. The police still don't know why you're here at Frisia. They're searching... Oh, still don't know you're here. They're searching around Hekio Academy and Aoba Dorm. Their voices got further away. I could tell they were saying something to me, but I couldn't figure out what. That's strange. You should be trying to give me information about what's happening to me right now. Information? Why? Would it help? Help with what? What could it help me solve? No matter what I do, it's too late. Is it? Is it, though? Kunosato slammed her hand down on the desk. I looked up, surprised. Well, do you have any idea? What? Idea about what? I asked if you had any idea where Saraka Onoe might go. In the last day, while you've been asleep, we went to her place with Shinjo, but no one was there. Day? So today was November 5th? We took the data off her computer and copied it, but didn't find any clues. We have no idea where she could have gone. Okay, but so she had an actual place and a computer and all that stuff. Are you sure though? Cause did I imagine that? See, stuff like this makes it sound like she's a real person, and I'm just really kind of just look. I'm just gonna be disappointed with that, and I want it to be she's a person we made up, and somehow we have super magic abilities, and then they're like, but she was real and she existed even when you weren't there. Weird, right? Right? I'm just amazing. That's what I want. I don't want her to be real. I want her to be a figment of my imagination. Not, she was a mastermind who mind controlled me when I was a kid. I don't want that. I want to, you know what I mean? That'll be fine, but it'll be disappointing. I've already come up with my theory, and I want my theory to be right because it's great. I'm going to be disappointed now, game. Anyway. And now that it's been decided that you're the criminal, even Shinjo can't use official resources to search for her. The police are acting strange. Someone set a trap and we walked right into it. Which means you're our only clue. You're Saraka Onoe's childhood friend, so you must have some idea, right? Saraka's childhood friend. Yeah, that's right. Saraka was my childhood friend. Imaginary friend. She'd always been with me since I was little. We did everything together. Right? She was always with you, like an imaginary friend. I'm just saying. Just read all of this as we go as she's imaginary. We created her. She's a shared delusion. I mean, just go with it. It's kind of, you're like, oh, I'm just saying. So why would Saraka... Okay, but if that's wrong and you know what the answer is, don't be in the comment. I mean, that's awesome, but no, Saraka's real. Don't say it, because there might be other people who've never seen this who are watching. And obviously, by the time we get to this part, I probably finished the game, so I probably already know the truth. But some people might not, and if people read the comments, so just no spoilers, right? Kunosato grabbed me and pulled me close enough that I could feel her breath on my face. Huh? Stop screwing around. This is our chance. Do you want to waste it? We finally know who the Gigalomaniac serial killer is. If we can find her, we might be able to find them. Serial killer. A serial killer is someone who murders 3 or more people. The term was originally created by a former FBI officer to refer to American Ted Bundy, who killed 30 people between 1974 and 1978. Most serial killers kill for pleasure, and many become serial killers after failing to find satisfaction with just one murder. Serial killers with severe mental disorders are classified as psychopathic serial killers, which can affect their sentencing during trial. Those who kill for political reasons or as part of an organized crime gang are not considered serial killers. In addition, those who kill large numbers of people at random in a single incident are called spree killers, which are considered separately from serial killers. Or in this case, us, we have a serial killer who is a figment of our imagination. I don't know, but I'm just saying. Enough! A loud voice echoed off the walls of the room. I thought Artemura had gone to make coffee, but at some point she'd walked over to me and started to glare at Kunasato. First, he lost his younger sister, and now he lost his older sister, Kurusu, and yet you're still... Artemura, come to think of it, she'd been really worried about Kurusu, so I'd promised that I would find her. I did find her, she just happened to be dead. So, why did this happen? She glanced at me for just an instant, and her lips were trembling. Can't you try and be a little more sensitive, Kunasato? You never change, do you? What? Whenever somebody's sibling is involved, you get testy. Artemura swallowed her words. It was as if she'd been stabbed. Did she lose a sibling, is that why? She clenched her fists tight as if trying to stop herself from doing something she might regret. There are very few people I'm capable of being nice to, and unfortunately, you gigolomaniacs aren't included. Kunasato let go of me and spoke, her voice as cold as ever. You're a horrible person. There's no point in lying to you. All I want to do is find the killer and whoever is behind them. See? Killer and whoever is behind them. Right, me, because she's not real. I'm just saying. Forever salty that I don't ever get to be the serial killer that I don't know that I'm a serial killer. I'm just saying. But still... Artemura's phone vibrated in her pocket. She looked annoyed when she took it out, but her expression changed when she saw the screen. She tapped the screen and put the phone up to her ear. Hello, Yuki. Is everything okay? Yeah. Yeah, I see. Oh, wait a moment. First, put Hana on. Yuki, Hana? Come to think of it, where were they right now? Was something terrible happening to them because of me? Artemura was speaking crisply and clearly to the phone while I was still struggling to even think. She reminded me a lot of Kurusu. Hana? You're listening, right? We're still stuck here, so stay with Yuki and Yuto, okay? Yuto's in bad shape, so is Yuki. Thanks. Okay, put Yuki on for me. Then she handed me the phone. She says she wants to hear your voice. Say something. Okay. I took the phone and gently put it up to my ear. Hello? Oh, Takuru? It's Yuki. Her voice was even weaker than usual. I could hear a tiny noise behind her. I'm sorry, Yuki. It's my fault. No, I'm fine, but there's so many people from the media, and the police are here, and they searched your room, and no one knows too. And the doctor went somewhere and hasn't come back. I don't know what to do. Dad hadn't come back? Were the police still questioning him? I'm really sorry. Oh no, I'm sorry. I heard a tiny sniffle on the other end. This poor thing! Oh, God. Oh. She's trying so hard with her giant demon sword. So cute. I know things are worse for you than for me, so I have to stay strong, don't I? I'm Yuto's big sister. I know, poor fucking Yuto, too. This poor goddamn kid. Both of these fuckers. Oh, my God. Her voice was strong, but I could still hear the tears. Miyashiro, it's time to hang up. If any of the police in Aoba dorm hear her, they'll know where you are. Artemura took the phone from me. She talked with Yuki a little while more and then hung up. I couldn't forget the sound of Yuki's tears. And then I finally realized that all I'd done was apologize. I hadn't said anything to make her feel better. My home, Aoba dorm, was being ripped apart by police officers looking for clues. I can imagine Yuki and Yuto there sobbing and not knowing what to do. No, I have to go. The next thing I knew, I was staggering forward. I got off the sofa and headed for the front door. Miyashiro? Kurusu was gone. So was Yui. So I had to be there, or Yuki and Yuto. But the thing is poor Shinjo, he's like, he didn't do it. He's the one that found, and Ito was the one who stabbed Yui, and you think he's the one that, like, he didn't do all of these things, like. But, I mean, we do look pretty fucking suspicious that we've been there, but the weird thing is, like, why in the world were they like, we're not the ones, and Sarika's now missing, and, like, I mean, she's obviously, like, there's obviously mind control stuff. But here's the funny thing. I guess that's another thing that kind of points to, or we're just not in control of our powers and we, like, made a monster. Because if Serica isn't real and we created her to, like, you know, whatever, deal with our problems, so she's like, that she's gonna be the one that deals with all of our shit for us, like stabbing people and crap. Like, right? If she's not real, why are we making the police think it was us? You know what I mean? Like, it's like they think it was you, and now they can't go after Serica, so, like, we're fucked. But, like, you know what I mean? That sounds like Serica mind controlled them and was like, it was Takuru. And now they're like, nothing will change their minds. So that's why they threw her name out there and everything. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, my hand touched the doorknob. And I slowly opened the door. Everything started to feel less and less real, and I watched my body move like a character in a movie. Miyashiro! Where are you going? To Alba Dorm. If I don't go quick, Yuki and Yuto... Wait, you can't go outside? Artemura grabbed my arm. I know we're at time, but... The news hasn't shown your picture yet, but people on the net have. Let me go. Yeah! Artemura screamed and her hand was knocked away. Miyashiro! It was only when I saw the look of shock on her face that I realized I'd used my power. I could see the Dai Sword. The symbol of my useless power, which couldn't even protect the girl I loved. It's so funny, protect the girl I loved. Are you, like, trying to tell me you were in love with Kurusu? Because, like, the whole time, she's my sister, like, even when she was dying. So, like, I don't like that you say that, because, like, no. No, I don't ship that, and I don't, no. She was like her sister. She was also irritating as fuck, but she treated us like she was our mom. So, like, I can't get behind that kind of, like, I know she wasn't really our sister, but it's like, but, like, and he kept referring to her, even, like, when she was dying, like, my big sister, like, my sister, like, so I'm gonna read this as more like the girl I love, like, someone I love, like, a person that I love, not, like, I was in love with her, like, in love with her type of a thing, you know? I don't want to read it that way, because that just seems weird to me, but what good is this thing anyway? Damn it. Damn it. Damn it! And I know that's kind of probably what they want. They want her to be main girl, and, like, she's the last round, and, like, she's, like, supposed to be the girl that you fall in love with, like, she's... Well, this isn't really, like, an Otome game, but if it was, like, any kind of romancy, if there was any kind of romance going on, Kurusu would be, like, canon girl, but, like, I don't... And it's not that I have issues with the, like, step-sibling thing. Like, you're not really brother and sister, but you're adopted together, like, this scenario, whatever. I don't have problems with that. Because, like, okay, fine. I might personally think it's weird, because, like, if I was raised with someone that was, like, my sibling, I wouldn't be like, I'm in love with you. But it's only been a few years. They were never... It's not like you grew up your entire lives. You've only been the last few years. But I feel like their bond being, like, then turning it romancy is a little, like, it kind of cheapens it a little. It's like, no, have a sibling bond. Just like Serica and I had, like, she was like our sister, our best friend, and now you made her a murderer? She might have been a figment of my imagination, but anyway. Miyashiro! My body started running on its own. I ran out of Frisia without knowing what would happen if I left. Okay, we're gonna stop here. Plus, I mean, I think part of it, too, is... if they put any kind of, like, romance in anything, like, oh, okay, this character, I kind of feelings for them. Kurusu would be the last one I'd want, just because she's the one I like the least. But they definitely have put her in, like, oh, she actually has powers. She knows about this. She does it. Like, she's got all the secrets, and it's like, oh. Yeah? Could you have made her more likable, maybe? Like, I don't hate her, but I also don't, like, love her. You know what I mean? Some of the other characters I love. You're like, oh my god, I love them, they're great. And you're like, no. She's always just been, oh, to me. Even when she's had moments and I've totally understood, like, I understand why she does what she does. I understand her thought brought like they've made her a good character, don't get me wrong. Like why she moms us, why that, like a lot of it makes sense. And there's probably even more when you get to like all of her secrets in her path kind of thing that okay, even more would make sense. So it's not that I think like, oh, she's a shitty character. No, she's a great character. I just don't personally like her. I find her irritating and annoying, and the other girls are better. Like I just like them better than her. And even though I totally get where she's coming from and I totally get why they made her the way they did, I don't know. Like, if you're gonna do a ship in this game, not her. You know. No. But I can still read it as like, okay, he did love her. I don't think you were in love with her. Although maybe a little bit because, you know, that's why you were so mad that she lied to you. But at the same time, she's had so many lies and so many secrets that I just feel like, I don't know if you could get past that. But, you know, I want to read that more as like, she is your sister and you loved her just like you loved you. But like more people around you keep dying, you know? So anyway, not the girl I loved. I guess maybe we're supposed to feel that he was falling in love with her the whole time, but I never got that. It was more like you love her like a sister and she's your family, but like she irritates you. And like, sure, you're a horny teenage boy, so like, yeah, I mean, she's a teenage girl, and if she was interested, probably, but you could say that literally for any of the other girls in the thing. I don't think she was that special in that way, you know? So it is just weird to kind of throw that in there like, I was in love with her. What? Where did that come from? Because then if it was like Kazuki that was be dead and then you say that, you're like, again, where did that come from? Like, you didn't really build that. The love that they had, that I feel is more like, definitely like siblings. Like, they have an understanding even deeper than siblings that he doesn't have with his other friends. You know what I mean? Just because they've been through the same things and, you know, whatever. But, yeah. Anyway, that's just my personal thought. But we'll see where this goes. I don't know how much is left in this game. But like shit, things are happening. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.